Busch Motorsports, Sirius XM Speedway.
Cross flags are in the air, halfway home. We're half the last 2 hours gone. On your Thursday edition of Sirius XM Speedway, Dave Moody live at Kyle Busch Motorsports in Mooresville, North Carolina. Angie Skinner in the Daytona Beach studios. Ready to chat now with, well, I guess it was the surprise announcement of the day here at KBM. Kurt Busch is with us. How are you?
Doing great. How surprised were you? I mean, was everybody feeling it, or they didn't know? I don't know how the general perception went.
I wasn't completely agog. But excited about it. Yeah, I will say you look good in Monster Energy black and green.
Thank you. What do you think, Angie?
I will say I was surprised at the Busch brothers sharing the whole season. I will say that. That caught me by surprise, which is very exciting. I love it. That was the cool twist for me.
Yeah, it's fun that the two of us can work and figure out the schedule to run every race. And the best thing about it is he's the most winningest Nationwide Series driver ever, right?
Yes,
I'm the only guy that doesn't have to go up against him. Because I'm running when he's not running.
He'll never beat you the whole year. Well, in Nationwide, anyway.
Yeah, in Nationwide.
You guys can slug it out. So how did this schedule get divided up? I'm interested which end of the schedule got fought over. Was it, I want this one first, or I don't want that one most? How did you figure it out?
It's just like two brothers battling it out. You know, the sibling rivalry is always there. And, you know, for me, this opportunity came up with Monster going, we want Kurt. And I was like, no way, this is awesome. And to put it together, he's going to run the first chore of races. That way the brand is with him, of course.
It's 4, right? The first 4?
4 or 5.
On his schedule through California, I think.
Yeah. I was putting my arm up, to go to Texas for my first race because that's where I started on the Nationwide circuit, and I won that same weekend. It's sentimental for me to run at Texas. Yep. And then, I'm the new guy on the totem pole here at Kyle Busch Motorsports, so I'm going to be the one that goes Sonoma to Road America on that weekend. I'm going to be the one commuting back and forth.
Did you get the Montreal weekend, too?
Montreal's still up in the air.
Oh, we're still fighting on that.
Yeah, that's a big venue. That's a big race. You know, going up there in front of the Canadian race fans. Monster, they want that market as well. So there's some of the marketing that Monster's deciding, some that Kyle wants, some that I want, and then, hey, I'm running for James Finch as well in some of the big profile races.
The 4 restrictor plate Nationwide races will be with James for you, right?
Yeah, there's the 3, because we actually don't run Talladega in the fall.
But that's right.
That's right now what we're doing, and then we're working on some more.
Really? Still more?
Still more.
You just can't get enough, can you?
It's just a unique opportunity with different sponsors wanting to be part of the deal, and it's neat to do this as a family, to do this with Kyle. I mean, the last time we raced together over a decade ago, we were running legend cars together.
Boy, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has. It's amazing how time has flown by, but for us to share this opportunity and to have Monster on board, and it's going to be the same car every weekend that hits the racetrack, this branding will be very powerful.
Kurt, I wanted to ask you something. So who called you? Did Rick Wren call you? Did Kyle call you? Or did you call Kyle? How did this come about? I love it. I just want to know how it came about.
While you're answering that, and when did it
I mean, this opportunity wouldn't have been available if what happened after Homestead didn't happen.
Right.
And it was like the light bulb went off in both of our heads at the same time. And Kyle had to check with what was going on with the driver lineup and the sponsors' requests. And so it was really a unique situation on how it all came together. And I had to talk to Finch about it because we're going to run our Nationwide races together. I just couldn't believe how this off-season has been for me. Just full throttle every day, 6 a.m., 10 p.m. We've got Cup stuff on the grill. We've got Nationwide stuff cooking. I even called Dennis Anderson to drive Gravedigger. I mean, you name it, I've been everywhere.
I thought you were joking about that. But no,
he called me back, and the president of Monster GM is on the voicemail list right now. So that still could be happening later on.
No kidding.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Keep us updated on that one. It's almost impossible to believe. If somebody had walked up to you the Friday of Homestead Week and said, hey, Kurt, got me a crystal ball here. Take a look at this. I mean, you wouldn't have believed it, how things have changed, would you?
No, and it's been an amazing ride. And now it's time to just get to the racetrack and start making some laps. And all along here, this effort on the Nationwide side is going to be about the owner's points. And so we have to be smart on how we're racing and get those consistent finishes. But Monster, of course, they want to be in victory lane every weekend. Yep. And they thought that this was their best shot at 33 chances of going to victory lane.
So has baby brother pulled the "I'm the boss" thing on you yet? I mean, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, not yet, but in a sense, it's like,
save it up for when it really
he's like,
matters.
hey, I got to really build this program, so your driver salary is not going to be anything. And I'm like, yeah, I pretty much guessed that.
Really?
Well, I'm here to help out.
Yeah.
That's my main objective here, is to help Kyle build this foundation and to create this KBM template on a lot of the money that is brought in needs to be poured into the cars.
Right.
We need to show up with the race cars carrying the brand and not the drivers.
I know, as a racer yourself, I mean, you came up the same way he came up. You know this sport intimately from all angles. You've got to look around here and be pretty impressed with what he's done in about 2 years' time.
Oh, this is by far a first-class program that nobody expected to happen as fast as it did. And it's mind-boggling to know the challenge that he's put himself into and how he's been able to conquer getting everything to where it is today. And so he deserves a lot of credit. A lot of the headaches behind the scenes he's been able to handle. And you get guys like Beam to come in and crew chief, Rick Wren to run the general manager's side. We just picked up a car chief from Rusty Wallace Incorporated. There's profile names coming in the door. So this place has all the potential in the world. It's endless.
We were talking to Beam a little while ago. I didn't have any idea what's on his plate. I mean, he basically said, 5 weeks ago we had nothing. We didn't even have a pile of tubular steel on the floor to start building our cars out of. He and his boys have got a ton of work to do to get you guys to Daytona, to get this team to Daytona.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like whatever I can do on James Finch's side with our nationwide program to help over here, we're going to do that. And so you'll see that 54 car and me in the Finch car.
I was going to ask if there might be a little work together there.
Yeah, and we'll see how the rule package shakes out from NASCAR. But drafting, you always need a partner. Throw Busch Brothers in there together, and hopefully we'll be a potent combination.
I know this is big business, and everybody wants to win, and it's horribly important, and there are millions of dollars, and, Kyle's financial future is in this building, but it can be fun, too. And you and I have talked a lot about fun in the last 30 days. It's got to be, and I think it's going to be, isn't it?
How cannot this be fun? I mean, working with your brother, building the program up, the two of us just going back and forth, and I know my first race, whenever it is, I hope it'll be Texas. He'll be on that pit box, and it's going to be that brother moment of, hey, we are in this together, and let's see if we can't bring home this owner's title to Kyle Busch Motorsports.
Mom and Dad pretty excited about this?
Oh, they're doing jumping jacks. I mean, my dad's least favorite color is green, so he's going to have to learn how to get a hold of green here pretty quick.
He's going to have to get over that.
But he did with Kyle driving the interstate cars, so yeah.
Well, yeah. He should be okay with
He'll
that.
love this, but just the whole branding, it's going to be a lot of fun.
How's the deal with Finch coming together? I mean, with Finch, you never know. He could call you tomorrow and say we're ready to go, or he could call you tomorrow and say you need to come over here and grab a welder because we need some help.
Yep. Right now, there's a lot of cars sitting on the floor that need some fab work, as far as finish fab is what we call it in our sport, and that's where you get some of the panels in the car to get it to the wind tunnel. Right. So that's our next step. We get those 5 cars to the wind tunnel, then those 5 create their identity. On the best one goes to Vegas. Second best goes to Phoenix. Third best goes to Bristol, just off of aerodynamics. Then you got your backup car that has to be ready to go, and that's where it turns back onto the driver to protect those race cars, so that we bring them to the next group of races after that. To
make sure that you don't need 4 cars in the first 3 weeks, but 3 cars.
Yeah, I mean, we have our shootout car that we can ride off. I mean, but that shootout turns into a wreck.
I'll bet Finch doesn't see it that way, though. He'd like you to bring it back intact.
He wants it on its lid or in victory lane.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know Finch. Yeah,
bring back a trophy and a steering wheel. He'll be happy.
Kurt, I got to watch you a little bit during testing last weekend, and I mean, you were constantly top 5, top 10, and the fastest. So, I mean, were you happy with how the car felt and the new package?
It was a great feel. Those guys, they work really hard down there at Finch's shop at Phoenix Racing, and there's 18 guys on the payroll. Each one of them has 2 to 3 tasks.
18 guys.
Yep. Wow. And that's what it's all about. We are going old school, and when we got to the top of the chart, at the end of the day, around 9 o'clock rolled around, the beer cooler was empty because those guys were celebrating. We just went 206. Bill Elliott's got the record down there at 212. This was a big accomplishment for a small team like that.
Was putting up a big number on your to-do list down there? Because I know various teams go there with different things they want to accomplish. Some are worried about putting up a number, some not necessarily so. Was that something you wanted to make a little bit of a statement?
No, it wasn't, actually. We were just out there teaming up with Regan Smith, like I had been in the past of that two-car tandem. We worked with Newman. I worked with Walter Carr, Mark Martin, driving that 55 car, just getting the feel for other cars. And, man, me and Regan Smith, it's that good combination with that 78 car.
Why is that? Because obviously you're driving a different car than you were last year, so it's not just that one car works well with another. Is it just driving style? What is it?
Yeah, I think it's just those relationships that you stumble across, and drivers get along, or they can be and read on the same page. And I think you're going to see a lot of that with Kyle and I, working this whole nationwide deal together, building it where it is right now, and then when I step in this 5th or 6th, 7th race, and then what we do during the summer months together, it's going to be great.
Look forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And you're right. The good news is he'll never beat you in a nationwide race.
We got the Finch races that I'm going to run. But
that's right.
It's car number 54 I'm worried about, and he's not going to beat us.
Okay.
We're going to be doing it together for the owner's title.
Sounds like fun, and we'll be watching. Appreciate the time. Thank you, as always.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Kurt Busch, the 54 Monster Energy Toyota Camry out of the Kyle Busch Motorsports stable. We'll take a quick break. Back